All right, guys, what's up? Back up here one more time tonight. Well, probably one more time, unless if I watch another takeover and get it done before like 2 o'clock and want to review that really fast. But we're back up here one more time for the fourth live review. Well, third within the past hour and a half. Well, hour. Well, it's probably about a half hour, maybe longer. Who knows? But my fourth live review of today. Well, this is a fourth live stream today. This is my preview and predictions video for NXT TakeOver 25, 2019. Well, this NXT TakeOver 25, it takes place 2019. It takes place this Saturday, June 1st, 2019, at in Hartford, Connecticut. I believe that's where it is. Yeah. Of course, there's 5 matches on this show as always. This, of course, is the first time, I gotta say, since NXT TakeOver The End, where we are not getting an NXT show and a main roster show on the same weekend. So this is a little bit strange. Of course, originally this was supposed to take place the same weekend as Backlash, but then everything just got all jumbled up because of the Saudi Arabia Super Showdown, and they had to change things up. So Backlash got eliminated. We got Stomping Grounds, which I'm going to try to make my card predictions for that in the next couple days. Get that out there for the views and whatnot. Not doing one for anything for Super Showdown. Again, Stomping Grounds, and of course, it was supposed to be TakeOver San Jose, but then it got canceled because of this stupid show, and then it got moved to this amazing show got moved to this Saturday, June the 1st, 2019. Again, I'll say this at the beginning, I'll say it at the end. I will not, again, anybody out there who follows me on social media and communicate with me, no spoilers. I will not be able to watch this show on Saturday because I have to work. I'll be working all day. And then I won't be watching when I get home because I'm going to be like an hour away from, about an hour away. It takes me about an hour to get home. I got to get up early Sunday morning. I have an early morning softball game. And then after softball, I go to church. And then after that, I will sit down, watch this show, and review it sometime on Sunday night. So once again, no spoilers. I will not be able to watch this show until Sunday afternoon. Capiche? Cool. All right. So anyway, we're going to go over now. Usually, as always, when I do any of my preview predictions, I try to put the matches again in order of how I feel they should happen. Which I do have that listed, but I'm not going to talk about them in that order because of one specific stable that really has had an impact on my decisions. Well, it's really one match that I feel has the biggest, difference, in my opinion, of which route I should go with. And that's the NXT Championship match. Because the tag title match, I'm pretty confident with that. Even though I have 2 other teams I think could win the tag titles. And then the non-title match with Matt Riddle and Roderick Strong, I'm pretty confident who's going to win that as well. But the NXT Championship match, I'm honestly 50-50 about. But of course, we'll get to that when we get there. So again, I'm going to talk about the non-Undisputed Era matches first, which is the women's title and the North American title. But I'll at least read off again the order of how I think this the matches should go in the show. Now I'll check the live chat. We'll see if anybody's joining us. So again, I think the opening match will be the Fatal 4-Way ladder match for the vacated NXT tag titles. I think then we'll get the match with Matt Riddle and Roderick Strong. Then we'll get Velveteen Dream taking on Tyler Breeze to a North American Championship. Then Shayna Baszler taking on Io Shirai. And then Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole for the NXT Championship in the main event. Okay, so let's chat. We've got Robbie talking about stupid grounds. And he feels Shayna and Io should be a street fight based off how personal things have gotten between them in the build. Which, honestly, I agree. I completely agree with how personal this has gotten. And, of course, the fact that, Io's used the weapons and whatnot. So why not make it a street fight? But we're not. Oh, well, it's still going to be a good match, I still feel, in my opinion. But, yeah, good point there, Robbie, for sure. Thank you for joining a lot of chat, as always, buddy. So, again, I'll talk about the 2 matches that do not involve the Undisputed Era, because that to me what had the biggest impact when predicting these winners. I mean, I picked my picks. You know, I'm not 100% confident with them, but you know, it's just what I would personally like to see happen. And you know, the best route I think is to go with this for the most part. I'll answer that after this. Anyways, so the first match on this show that does not involve the Undisputed Era is the North American Championship match. Velveteen Dream and Tyler Breeze. Now, the North American Championship picture has really been, even kind of the NXT Championship picture, has really been shuffled up a lot. I had to go through some changes because of injuries. First, at NXT TakeOver New York, from what I saw, it was definitely going to be Gargano and Ciampa in their final, in the finale, the big blow off of their feud, basically at TakeOver New York for the NXT Championship, where Johnny Gargano was going to win, like of course he did anyways against Adam Cole, and win the NXT Championship. Okay, Adam Cole, for what it looked like, was probably really supposed to be involved in the North American title picture, as he was supposed to have a triple threat match with Velveteen Dream, Matt Riddle, and Adam Cole. Pretty sure Adam Cole was probably going to take the pin with Velveteen Dream retaining. But of course, they had to unfortunately hand Matt Riddle a loss. But I mean, I say unfortunately because again, Matt Riddle doesn't really need to be built off an undefeated streak, but he could have taken the loss. But obviously, they didn't want to make him look too weak by getting pinned, so they had him just getting rolled up, of course, like they did. So they kind of got back into a corner with that. It seemed to me that the original plan was for Velveteen Dream to take on Dominic Dijakovic, which the thing is, if that was the case, I would have wanted to see Dijakovic win the title. Even though, once again, how does Velveteen Dream go from, beating Matt Riddle clean and then losing to Dominic Dijakovic, who, yes, I've become more and more of a fan of. I don't think he's on the level of Matt Riddle, though, yet. So that's why I wasn't sure if I would want to see that happen yet. Because my idea was have Dominic Dijakovic win the NXT North American Championship. Either have the rematch with Velveteen Dream at TakeOver Toronto 2 or not. But I wanted to see that rematch with Dominic Dijakovic and Keith Lee, but make it for the North American Championship. That was my idea. But once again, why would Velveteen? It didn't quite make sense to me to see Velveteen Dream, though, lose to Dominic Dijakovic when I don't think he's not quite on the same level yet as Matt Riddle. Now, they replaced Dijakovic, though, with Tyler Breeze, which I like, because here's my thing also about this pay-per-view. This is an anniversary show, in my opinion. Having an NXT alumnus, a successful person from NXT, even though he's not been successful on the main roster, Tyler Breeze still was a success in NXT. So having an NXT alumnus on this show does feel special. Now, I will also go as far as saying this, and I've said this before, this would have been the perfect show for Sasha and Bayley to defend the women's tag titles on this show. I don't know who it would have been against. Again, I still don't think Duke and Shafir would have been ready for this match, unless they would build them up better. And then this is when Sasha and Bayley dropped the women's tag titles. Kind of sort of like a year-long build for the women's the 4-on-4 4 horsewoman match we were probably going to get, but we're probably going to now get Sasha left. And 2, Sasha and Bayley just dropped the tag titles for no reason at WrestleMania. So not living up to any of the hype at all, saying that, they were going to defend the titles everywhere. They didn't get defended titles on NXT. Like, this would have been the perfect show for them to do so. They could have faced them, or they could have faced, Kyrie and Io maybe, or the Sky Pirates, or I don't know, just someone, not the. So again, a huge missed opportunity there. Like, at least have some type of an alumnus on this show to celebrate. This is the 25th anniversary of the NXT TakeOver pay-per-views and whatnot. But so anyways, who do I think should win between Velveteen Dream and Tyler Breeze? I'm still going to go with Velveteen Dream. But I would not be opposed to Tyler Breeze win this match at all. Like part of me wants to see Tyler Breeze win this match. I mean, if the plan was for Dijakovic to win the North American title, maybe they still may go with Tyler Breeze and give him some time at NXT. Maybe just, give him a rub and for Vince to, recognize what he's missing out on or something and maybe call him back up and, give him another shot. Or again, maybe it's just a one-off thing. I'm not sure. Like, part of me wants to see Tyler win this. I don't think he's going to, though. And I think Velveteen Dream's going to retain this. I still thought, since I thought he was going to be dropping the belt to Dijakovic, that I thought that maybe they were going to be calling up Velveteen Dream after SummerSlam, even though it's like, hold your breath on that. That may not be a good idea because who knows? They'll probably screw him up next because, main roster, but, not going to rain on down here. But I think I'll still go with Velveteen Dream retaining. But the slightest part of me wants to see Tyler Breeze win, but I think it's going to be Velveteen Dream. That's what I picked for that match. The second match involving the not involving the Undisputed Era is the NXT Women's Title match. Shayna Baszler taking on Io Shirai. I think this one is the easiest match to pick. I mean, I love Io. She's doing a great job so far in NXT, but I don't think Shayna's dropping that belt to Io. So I think Shayna will retain. I mean, if Io wins, cool with me. I think Shayna's going to retain here. Again, I really got behind this idea right before TakeOver New York again, that Candice LeRae mentioned that she wanted to earn her opportunity and go through the division, starting with Aaliyah and Vanessa Bourne. And I know, Robbie, we're aware of my Aaliyah ice cream bars, basically, because again, she looked pretty darn hot when she came out a couple weeks ago in that attire with the black hair. Again, women with dark hair and dark clothing just really catch my eye. But anyways, of course, Mandy Rose too. But again, when she's not in red, I still think the red does not fit her as well. Anyways, I still think, eventually, I still had the suspicion we're going to try to give the belt to Candice. But of course, after tonight, with Mia Yim defeating Bianca Belair clean, I'm like, how could you not, pass up on giving Mia Yim an opportunity when she just defeated someone who was undefeated? I'm sorry, undefeated or for a year and a half. And of course, she suffered her first loss when she passed out to Shayna Baszler's Careful Clutch at Phoenix, and she tapped out to her also in New York. And then Mia Yim gave her first pinfall loss tonight. So, like, my thing too is like, okay, why wouldn't you give Mia the opportunity when Mia's gotten the big win first over Candice? I mean, Candice has had some wins, but not over like the superstars with the women with the biggest star power. So that's why I'm very confused as to where they're going next. The women's division. I don't know if we're going to lead to another Fatal 4, like a triple threat match or something like that. But I still don't know what's going to happen with the women's title after this. Again, I was positive that at some point they were going to have both Johnny and Candice as champions. But I'm not sure now, especially with the main event. We'll talk about that main event, of course, when we get to it. But okay, I think the sure pick here is Shayna to retain. I think this is probably the most predictable match. Maybe Matt Riddle and Roderick Strong, but slight, suspicion on that. Not too sure. Anyways, though, check the live chat here. Mike, if you're hearing Jon Moxley's podcast with Jericho, I'd rather write for NXT and AEW until the main roster gets a whole new facelift in terms of their creative process. Which, again, if you have not yet listened to the Talk is Jericho podcast with, again, trying to get used to it still, but with Jon Moxley, watch it. Seriously, I've been praising, the podcast with Punk Cabana. I've been praising the podcast with Jericho, Zayn, and Owens. That's still one of my favorites. But this podcast with Jon Moxley and Chris Jericho is quite a hit. If you haven't listened to it yet, definitely look it up. The Emancipation of Jon Moxley. It's amazing. I've already listened to it. I'm listening to him for my second time, in between these reviews. I'm going to be listening before I go to bed tonight. But yeah, definitely. And that's why the other day I said, Robbie, WWE does not deserve you. Like, Vince McMahon is just going to take your ideas and make them his. you just, again, and even right now, I'm sorry, I wanted to, should we even have been blaming Road Dogg for, the bad air, for, the bad writing he was given? Was it his fault? I don't know. Because obviously, more is just obvious that, it's all Vince. As we got out of this out of the Moxley podcast. So that's why I say, too, WWE doesn't deserve Robbie, but AEW, yes. NXT, yes. Main roster right now, no. As long as Vince is there and he doesn't let this company die with him, then no one's getting anything until Vince is out. But for sure. What's up, GD Trubactor? If Dijakovic hadn't gotten injured, I would have loved to see a triple threat match between Dream, Dijakovic, and Keith Lee, which would have been nice. Stealing my catchphrases, huh? I'm like, hey, I had to give a shout out for that. I love how tonight on NXT, Bianca's ponytail untimely led her to a downfall, whereas in her last match with Mia, it helped her win. Hashtag storytelling, hashtag continuity. Exactly. And also, in his Vince voice, Pooper Scooper. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad Ambrose got that written off. Once again, he says, this is stuff an idiot would do. And yes, Dean Ambrose was supposed to come across as, just like a crazy, wacky person, but not as being looking stupid and whatnot. But anyways, thank you for the stuff though involving the Moxley podcast, sure. But again, I'm thinking about maybe having that as like my special stream of the week instead of a top 10, talking about stuff from the Moxley podcast. Because again, it was great. But thank you for your stuff in a lot of chat, guys. Moving on now to, again, the other three matches on TakeOver 25. And again, they all involve the Undisputed Era. So the one I feel is the most obvious to me. Matt Riddle and Roderick Strong. I don't see Matt Riddle losing to Roddy. So I'm going to have to pick Riddle. However, though, I still feel the biggest impact on what happens to the Undisputed Era going forward is the main event. So I'm trying to think, okay, Matt Riddle winning sounds pretty obvious. But what if Roddy wins and let's say in the main event, Adam Cole loses because of Roderick Strong, and that's what causes, Adam Cole to be kicked out of the Undisputed Era? Or it could be the opposite way if Adam Cole wins the main event, and of course Fish and O'Reilly win the tag titles. They say, hey, we don't need you anymore, get out, or something like that. Or you were the weakest link because you lost to Matt Riddle or something like that, get out. Or again, it's so many scenarios because my thing is I still think either at TakeOver 25 or not long after, Roderick Strong is going to be out of the Undisputed Era. The problem I'm trying to go here with though is I don't want the era coming out completely weak. But at the same time, this is a situation involving the main event where, again, I also don't want the era to either split up completely, but there's also about Johnny Gargano, though, that involves the situation as well. So for now, I'm going to say Matt Riddle wins. I think of all matches of the Undisputed Era, I think it's pretty positive that Roddy's going to lose. But he could win, and maybe, Adam Cole may get jealous that Roddy had a big win and he didn't or something like that. Like, you get what I'm saying here? Like, that those possibilities are there. I'm just trying to think the right way to go so that at least Cole, Fish, and O'Reilly are still together, which is to get to the ladder match. Now, with this ladder match, at first I think it's going to open up the show. I think it could definitely be a show stealer. I mean, the depth of it is pretty good. We got Lorcan and Birch. Forgotten Sons, who, again, I've been getting a little more behind Cutler and Blake. Again, Jackson Riker is still not a big of a fan of, but they've gained some momentum, of course, since the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. The Street Profits, who are finally getting a pay-per-view opportunity. I would see them win because they're starting to get a little more serious now. I've been wanting to see Street Profits be tag team champions for a long time. I thought they were going to be one of the possible teams maybe dethrone the Undisputed Era last year. I really thought that was going to be the case until War Raiders showed up. And, of course, it's also for Mustache Mountain briefly had the tag titles. Of course, they won them at Royal Albert Hall. But anyways, I want to see Street Profits. Personally, though, I think this is the one. If again, my thing is I don't want to see Roddy. Well, the thing is though, if Adam Cole doesn't win the main event, and then Fish and O'Reilly and Roddy Wood. I don't want them to, I don't want, Cole to also, blame Fish. Okay, I don't want to see the Undisputed Era split completely. I mean, I'm okay with Roddy leaving them. Like, that's some storytelling there. I'm fine with Roderick Strong leaving them, but I don't want to see them completely implode. I'm going to go with Fish and O'Reilly, though, to win these tag titles. I mean, I can see the Forgotten Sons winning it because of their recent momentum and how they were kind of, seeming the ones to mainly target the War Raiders, even though the Viking Raiders now and Undisputed Era, didn't really have a rematch after they won the tag titles at TakeOver Phoenix. I want to see the Street Profits win them too because, I just want to see them win them for a long time. I mean, Lorcan and Birch, I wouldn't be opposed to them winning, but I feel like, they're the least likeliest of the four. But with, ladder match, of course, it's going to be awesome. But I think this is the one I'm the most positive that Undisputed Era will win. So I think Fish and O'Reilly are going to at least win back the tag titles, at least prove they're strong and worthy to Adam Cole. Which we get to this main event. Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole for the NXT Chapter. Now, it feels like it's a little bit of a step back. And I'll be real, the story's a little awkward, I feel, with this. And once again, getting back to what I said before with the North American title picture, I do think, this NXT Chapter picture, has been back to a weird corner. Because with Adam Cole and Johnny Gargano take over New York for the vacated NXT Championship because Tommaso Ciampa was injured with the neck injury, I feel like, even though it was Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole, in some ways they kind of had Adam Cole kind of more so play a role of Tommaso Ciampa. This is more so Johnny Gargano taking on the actual Adam Cole, if you know what I mean. Now, again, the thing I had to bottom about the story is this whole idea with Adam Cole saying stuff like, oh, well, if it was a regular match, I would have won the championship in TakeOver because I beat you first clean. It's like, yeah, but still, after that, it's like, two more matches happen and Johnny beat you both times. So that I'm not completely, approved of because that's just a little like just something that like a nitpick, I think, with the storytelling. I'm for another match with Cole and Gargano, don't get me wrong. I thought their match, well, the first two falls at TakeOver New York, I thought were good, but they felt like they were just a typical, match to see on live TV. But then once, the battle for that third fall happened, that's where I felt like got to a classic level match. But my thing is here's the thing. I don't want the Era to come out of this looking weak. I don't want the Era to come out of this, all split up. I just want at least just, the worst case scenario, I want Roderick Strong. I want to see his Roderick Strong getting kicked out. That's why I think the story's going to be going here. So that's why I will either want to see Adam Cole win the championship, and then with him, Fish and O'Reilly, having all being champions, and Roderick Strong losing, then Adam Cole will just kick out Roddy and say, okay, we don't need you anymore. Or what happens if Roddy, costed Adam the championship? And, of course, Fish and O'Reilly, win the tag titles. Then, obviously, he feels they're more worthy than Roddy. Here's the reason why I don't want Johnny to lose. I'm trying to think back here, but I think when DIY was tag team champions between Toronto and San Antonio, I think they had a rematch for the tag titles with them and the Revival on an episode of NXT. I can't remember for sure, but they dropped in the next pay-per-view. Gargano, wins North American Championship. What happens? He drops it, his first title defense. I would like to see Johnny at least have the title for at least one more pay-per-view, even though, of course, I would like to see, him and Candice be champions at the same time, not just for an hour or so. I don't want to see Johnny be that guy who just always loses his first title defense. So that's the problem I have with Johnny losing this match. However, once again, Adam Cole at some point, should have been NXT champion for sure. I agree. But once again, I don't feel right about having Johnny Gargano losing his NXT championship in his first title defense. Like a title he's worked so hard, jumped through a lot of hoops, like all the drama he went through for 2 years with Tommaso Ciampa. Like, why would you want to see him immediately just lose it just like that, though? But at the same time, again, what's best for the Undisputed Era? Them being in 3 of the matches is the biggest focal point for this pay-per-view. So I'm going to go say Johnny retains. And afterwards, Cole kicks out Strong. But it's a tough pick. But I'll say Johnny retains. And because Roderick Strong cost Adam Cole the match. So my picks, again, are, in order of how the match is going to happen. And the Undisputed Era will win the vacated tag titles. Matt Riddle will defeat Roderick Strong. Velveteen Dream will retain over Tyler Breeze. Shayna Baszler will defeat Io Shirai. And I think Johnny Gargano will retain the NXT Championship. Although, I think there's going to be a lot more possibilities than that could happen. We'll wait and see what happens on Saturday. Once again, just a reminder, before I touch the live chat one more time, I will not be able to watch this show on Saturday because I have to work. And again, I'm going to be an hour away from home. So by the time I get done, which is maybe 10 o'clock, I have an hour to get back home. So I get cleaned up, settled in, take my shower. I get up early on Sunday morning for a softball game. And I'm going to church after my softball game. And then after church, I will sit down the rest of my day. Let's go visit my grandparents for an hour or so, like I usually do on Sundays. And I will watch NXT TakeOver 25 then and review it sometime Sunday night. So just stay patient with that, guys. Once again, no spoilers, please. Once again, if I didn't say before, actually I did say my picks before, my bad. So check the live chat one more time. What was worse, Ambrose's injections backstage or the electric chair with Sami Zayn? Well, okay, so the electric chair segment with Sami Zayn and the Q&A, we've seen that a couple times. Unless that completely, derails Sami Zayn and, he doesn't, it makes him want to quit, I'd say, I guess, the injection segment, because that's what made Ambrose 100% want out of there and made him completely miserable and whatnot. Because of the backstory behind it, I gotta give the Ambrose injections first. Tyler said his worst heel turn, Daniel Bryan last year, and worst face turn is Del Rio 2012-2013. Best face turn is Styles 2017, and best heel turn Triple H 2002. Rival says, Mike, my goal is to film my special WWE Network special fantasy booking video before Super Show, and hopefully by next Wednesday. Sounds good. I'll make sure to check it out, whether it's live or not. I'll make sure to check it out for sure, Robbie. And guys, definitely, get, hashtag please sign Robbie Try on Twitter. Again, once again, we'd rather have Robbie work for a company that would have the person who in charge appreciates the work he does, but still get hashtag please sign Robbie on Twitter. Again, just check out his fantasy booking videos. He also comes up with great ideas. You're just hearing him explain the ideas. Feels like you're actually watching the show for sure, such as his 2-part Evolution, fantasy card he came with last year before Evolution took place. So once again, check out his channel, guys. Subscribe to him as well. And if you look, we see, get hashtag please sign Robbie trending on Twitter. And with that, guys, I'm going to check out here, guys. What are your predictions for NXT TakeOver 25? Leave us down in the comment section below. And just always, slap a like on this video, subscribe or comment on my channel. Follow me on Twitter at DemandAir93. And again, tomorrow I will most likely do some type of a special stream for this week, talking about something involving this Jon Moxley podcast for sure, because it was definitely a very interesting podcast to chat about. So I'm probably gonna do that this week. And then of course I've been busy the past couple of days. I'm going to try to watch the TakeOver Rival tonight. And if it's not too late, maybe I'll try to review before I go to bed, and I'll review it tomorrow. But that's still to come. And of course, the only video game Let's Play I'm doing right now is the Harry Potter and Chamber of Secrets. So I'm going to try to get the next part done by the end of this week. And also, again, I'm going to try to do my Stomping Grounds card predictions as well over the next couple of days as well. So that's my plan for the rest of the week, guys. With that, guys, I will check out. I'll see you guys all later. Probably next video will mostly be the TakeOver Rival review. So, guys, I will see you then. And I'll talk to you till tomorrow, guys. Have a great rest of your night. Peace out, everybody.